Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of 5 and 5 presented by the NACMA Brand Committee. My name is Ryan Phillips. I'm from the University of Dayton, and today we're pleased to be joined by Michael Murtagh from the University of Montana. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Ryan. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, we're getting ready. We're going to talk today a little bit about digital promotion and in particular, how to capture a viral moment and really take that moment and help extend your brand and help grow your brand to people that maybe aren't exposed to it or don't know who you are, and just continuing to use those moments to be able to capitalize and be able to continue to grow. So we're really excited. We're going to put 5 minutes on the clock. Mike, are you ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it.
Boom. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get started. So first question, real simple, real easy for you, Mike. If you could define brand, how would you define brand?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think you could define it in a lot of different ways, but for me, if I had to define it, it's an emotion that somebody feels when they see the logo of the brand. It's, what you get a feeling when you see that swoosh of the Nike. You get a feeling when you see that apple that represents Apple. And so that's what I think of when I think of like what a brand is. It's an emotional response you get to a visual.
That's awesome. I think that's something that's really huge that people don't really talk about a lot, is the emotional side of a brand and how you feel when you're looking at a brand. I think that's something that's a really powerful statement. Can you talk a little bit about, so at Montana, you guys through digital and through everything that you're doing, how you take that idea of what brand is and put it and implement it into your digital strategy?
Yeah, that's a challenge. That's a real big challenge, and I think it's something that I can say, and I know that I'm amongst friends here, and I know I know that people watching this are going to know exactly what I'm talking about, because regardless of how many sports teams that you have in your athletic department, every team wants to be different. Everybody wants to have their own brand under the overarching brand. So, for us, it's making sure that we're consistent with our logo. It's consistent with our fonts. We're consistent with our colors. Like those to me that's like, a no brainer, but like, that's where it really starts. We want to be able to give our teams the freedom to kind of have their own identity while still being under the Grizz brand. So, to be short, it's a challenge, but we try to take certain elements to make sure that we're being consistent across all of our platforms on social media with all of our teams.
That makes total sense. That's awesome. I want to talk a little bit about the viral moment that you guys had a couple months ago. I know that a lot of us saw it, where there was this huge push to get College Game Day to come out to Montana and be on campus there. Can you just talk a little bit about that moment, really sort of what you guys saw, and then how you guys captured that moment sort of in a bottle, lightning in a bottle to say, and really used it to help maximize your brand up, maybe a whole new audience that hadn't been exposed to the Grizz brand before?
Yeah. So, 120 years of the Brawl of the Wild was this year, Montana versus Montana State. And it is a huge rivalry. Not being from Montana, I was still very aware of the rivalry before I came here. And so we really thought that this would be what an opportunity and what a moment to capture, then have game day come here and see not only a great game, but like just how beautiful Missoula, the community itself, and the University of Montana is, because it really is. I mean, I've been at a few different schools around the country, and like nothing compares to just the beauty of this place. And, that's something that I think a lot of people probably have an idea of, but don't really fully understand until they actually like see it. And so we looked at the schedule and we knew that there were a couple of games that were probably going to be competition. Since game day actually went to Cincinnati the week before. And so we were like, yes, like that's it. Like that's the one that we needed to check off, but Ohio State, Michigan State, I mean, regardless of, how we thought about it, like we get it, like that was a pretty big game. But it all came together because we all got on the same page. We got people in the community, whether it be like Destination Missoula, they helped out with, getting people on board. We met with people on the university to get people on board. We reached out to anyone who had a tie to the university or even the state of Montana. And so, You know, I saw some comments. I usually don't read comments because I just don't want to go down that road. But I read a couple and I saw people saying like how we paid people to make videos. And I will tell you right now, not one person got paid to make a video. Not Michael Keaton, not I'm trying to think of who else made a video. Jeff Ament. Jeff Ament went to school here. He's the guitarist for Pearl Jam. So like all these people that made videos that people are like, I had no idea that that person went to Montana or had a tie to Montana. Well, they did, and they made a video and they did it for free, and they did it because they believed in what we were trying to accomplish. And so that, to me, that was the coolest part of the whole thing, was seeing everybody come together. Now, yeah, it stunk that they didn't come here, but to see how everybody pulled together to go towards one mission, to get College Game Day, to come to the University of Montana, to me, that was awesome. Like I thought mission accomplished.
That's absolutely incredible. We have time for one more question, one final question for you. Really gear this towards looking at somebody who's been in the industry for a couple of years, has worked their way up a little bit, but has still people above them and people below them. If they're in that situation where they're saying, I want to make a difference with my institution, I want to capture a moment, they want to really use that moment to enhance the brand of their institution and really sort of put that all together, what's one piece of advice you'd have for somebody really looking ahead and looking at it and saying, this looks like it's going to be a moment. What can I do in my position, maybe as a director level or assistant director level, to make that kind of impact and change and help create that moment like you guys had?
Yeah, that's, I mean, another great question. I would just say, like, find people who have influence, find people who can help you, and team up. Like, you know, anytime that you see somebody accomplishing something big, it's never alone. And so I think that's the thing that people need to realize. Like, you got to check your ego at the door. You got to realize, be self-aware enough to know the things that you don't know, and go find those people that do know. Because when you can do that and you can build this like little team of people that all have their things that they're good at, and they can include it into this plan that you guys create, that's where the magic happens. And to me, that is how you get things done.
Boom. That's incredible. That's 5 minutes and maybe a 20 bit extra added on at the end, but we wouldn't want it any other way. So Mike, final thing for you. If people wanted to reach out to you to talk to you a little bit more about whether it was that viral moment or anything that you said here in these last couple of minutes, how can they reach out to you?
All right, get your pens out, folks. Okay, so on Twitter, I'm mostly active on Twitter. I try to not be active on the other platforms. At least right now, I'm not. So if you want to hit me up on Twitter, it's Michael_A_Junior. And then, I mean, my cell phone. I give out my cell phone to everybody because, you know, it's funny. People are like, you give your cell phone out? I'm like, this isn't 1995 where like people crank call you and try to order pizzas or, you know, ask if your water's running. So I don't mind giving my cell phone out. So my phone number is 585-455-2614.
Boom. Perfect. So everybody heard that. Michael wants all the prank calls now. So give him a call, tell him his fridge is running, tell him everything else. Mike, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you everybody for joining us for the 5 and 5 series. Get ready. We got some more videos coming up. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day.